never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupac in, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Follow us through the hypogeum to the Coliseum. I'm talking Machiavellian tactics mixed with Panther pride. The ghost of a fiend walking right by my side. It's the theosophia, the concrete. Yeah. Yeah. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupac in, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Yeah. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupac in, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Follow us through the hypogeum to the Coliseum. I'm talking Machiavellian tactics mixed with Panther pride. The ghost of a fiend walking right by my side. It's the theosophia, the concrete spiritual warfare. Plotting on the liberation while the system just stare. Pac saw the maze, saw the traps in the code. Told us thug life was the acronym to help us explode. Out the poverty cycle, out the mental cage. Redefining the criminal onto revolutionary stage. He wasn't just rapping, he was building the front. Uniting the Crips and the Bloods on the hunt. For a peace treaty signed in the blood of the block. Turning the hood to a nation steady ticking the clock. From the hypogeum, that's the cell of the deep. Where the secrets of the struggle and the answers to sleep. To the Coliseum floor where they want us to bleed. But we switching the script, playing a different exceed. In socialistic visions through a gold rim lens. Trying to feed the whole tribe, not just counting the ends. Class war in the lyrics, soul searching in the bars. NGA, I navigating by the Tupacian stars. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupacian, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Spit Tupacian, theosophic politics. Ancestors, we honor them. Niggas uniting all of them. Follow us through the hypogeum to the Coliseum. Yeah! It's the study of God through the eyes of the oppressed. Theosophy in the gutter, unity of death. Follow the light through the underground. We going from the pits to the stage. NGA.
I see your true colors shining through. Better believe them when they show you who they is. Show you who they is. You can bet a bag on it. I see your true colors shining through. That blood in the chalice, wine in the salad, never mind an invalid. I see your true colors shining through. Better believe them when they show you who they is. Show you who they is. You can bet a bag on it. I see your true colors shining through. That blood in the chalice, wine in the salad, never mind an invalid. We could take a ride if you wildin'. It's crazy how invalid. Trying to insert a challenge, fucking with me, foster imbalance. I see your true colors, change your face, elite and talent. Blunt force trauma, see stars like you play for Dallas. Keep the power tools on deck, I'm making pallets. They think the bar tight till you tap it with the mallet. Steve Irwin, this back chat. Keep a falcon and a talent. I spit hot shit Van Allen. You about bitch fool, that's a mule and a stallion. Try to turn me into Henny, that's penny for a drag. I see your true colors, I see your true colors shining through. Better believe them when they show you who they is. Show you who they is. You can bet a bag on it. I see your true colors shining through. That blood in the chalice, wine in the salad, never mind an invalid. I see your true colors shining through. Better believe them when they show you who they is. Show you who they is. You can bet a bag on it. I see your true colors shining through. That blood in the chalice, wine in the salad, never mind them invalid. We can take a ride if you want.
No, no, no. Whatever in darkness will come to light. Only time will tell. When you ally only with truth. Ooh, yeah. Only then will you see the light. Can't conceal the no, no, no. No, no, no. darkness will come to light. Only time will tell when you ally only with truth. Ooh, yeah. Show me, babe, what's real life. You say a wicked man runs when no one pursues. Reap what you sow, pay your dues. Don't be dollar playing with fools. Gotta be ahead of curve like a compass tool. Self-evaluate, are you narcissistic and pompous too? Know that self mean you got a lot to do. Truth the only ally that should be blinding you. The truth blinding if it ain't shining in you. Pressure foam, diamonds from suit. Only then will you see the light. Can't conceal the truth. Oh no, no. Whatever in darkness will come to light. Can't conceal the truth. No, no, babe. I'll never see the light. I probably wanna kiss the light. When you ally only with you.
Originals. You know what we coming for. We back for what you own. They try to lose, shoot, sky the youthful crew. Divide and conquer. Forget, forgive. A genocidal monster. You got us fucked up. Fresh fucks to give. Fucks to give. Living proof ancestors live. You don't swear on the Bible, swear by some right side. Rather be suicidal, submit to false idols. You a false title, crimes you will do. It's them savage he's broken the rules. Fuck all your treaties rules. Taking this old, cause you know this shit do. Ain't got no code on what to start. Typhoon, spirit walking ghost, destined to the moon. Insurrection, better keep it repulsive, unrested loose. Land of the plum serpent, got your own serpent. Swear on the Bible, swear by some right side. Rather be suicide, submit to false idols. You with false type, going all out right true. If you turn this, we will form a cycle. We back. We above your nose, you know, you're coming for. We above your nose, we back up, we come, we back up with the hose, we fuck up, we come. It's war. They try, looters, shooters got. You recruited, divide and conquer. Forget they genocidal monster. How you got us fucked up, baby, fresh out of fucks to give. Living proof our ancestors live. We don't swear on the Bible, swear by South brothers. Ready be with a suicidal. This submit to false idols, man stolen with false titles. Conjure a goon with some savage. He was getting drunk in the room, fucking all your trees, rules. We taking what's old, cause you know the do. We ain't got nothing close, mom. Well, my water started typhoon spit. Walking ghost dancing to the moon. Land of ropes back, keep rapping. Civil unrest, so turn redstone. Outside, early go high. There's my ball side. In the right triangle. All the night gray. Nipping on the right triangle. We know where we come from. We originals.
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy. I'm waiting on my other brother to pop up, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Just bear with me. Happy 314 day to everybody out there, man. Everybody knows St. Louis. It's a national holiday for us. We don't give a fuck on how we get down. 314, always middle of the map. Y'all know how we get down, man. You know what I'm saying? Bless up, you know what I'm saying, to everybody out there in the St. Louis region, 314 area. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Andrew Kakarак, a.k.a. the Underground President. You hear me? So I'm gonna just jump right into so some of my brothers pop up. So I just wanted to really address something that's going down on one of the posts on Facebook. So I'm let me go ahead and share this for y'all real quick so y'all can, because I just want people to understand certain things, like when it comes to knowledge. Like we don't be trying to be malicious to people. So we give people opportunities to air their grievances or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know, some people take that as ego or arrogance or something like that. It's not really like that. So the issue comes, right, um, when people make claims, and then this is the reason why we try to bring y'all to the back chat, right? Is because on the news feed, you can sit there and postulate whatever you want and say whatever, but when you come in the back chat, you're gonna be face to face with people who gonna have different opinions, and you're able to rub your stuff up against their stuff to see what's left in the end, to see where the truth comes. And if it goes further than that, then we can go into a debate. We can have an actual formal debate, not yelling and screaming over each other, cussing each other out, calling each other all type of ad hom stuff, but an actual formal debate. You know what I'm saying? It's actually judged, structured, and it's formal, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what men do. That's what women do who are intellectual. Intellectual men and women do this type of course of action when they have disagreements. Not just cuss each other out and call each other ignorant. So I'm gonna just jump right into it, right? So this is brother Mandella Elliott. He's a good brother, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the admins of the Final Battle Group, Negroes in America, or something like that. I can't remember which one. So many of them. But he's one of the admins in there, you know what I'm saying? And we joined that particular Final Battle Group because it wasn't as big as all of the other ones. You know what I'm saying? And they had some pretty interesting conversations going. A lot of pseudo stuff being spewed around. So, truth are only allies. So, we want to dig right into it. We want to jump right into it, right? So that's what we do. We look for the information. We look for those who are not aligned with truth. And we try to it says Illinois, being that was Cahokia Aslan, there was more ancient tombs per square mile than anywhere else in the country / earth. Okay, now that's what's up, God body, Michigan. The link in the chat, man. Go ahead and jump up here, man, so we can talk about it. So y'all already see right here, he's making this claim about Aslan and Cahokia. Right now, anybody out there who knows, Aslan is the ancient or mythological homeland of the Aztecs. The Aztecs who are situated in Mexico. Everybody know who the Aztecs are. The same people that the Spanish conquered, killed, and pillaged, right? So he's trying to say that their origins is from the Cahokia. This look what he says. There's more ancient tombs per square mile than anywhere else in the country / earth, right? So I guess when he says / earth, he's meaning the entire earth, or maybe he's just talking about the land or just the country. I don't know. So I'm gonna go deeper off into it, right? So what up, Sadiq?
What up, brother?
So let me prompt this so we can get all the comments, because I want y'all to see it from the top to bottom. And so I like to bring witnesses so people can't say that I'm bullying them or any of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? To just let people see that it's in good faith. Let me see if I can't make this just a little bit bigger for y'all. Just a little bit bigger. Okay, so it says now this is me. Y'all see Laurel Burns. It says the meaning of the name Aslan is uncertain. Blah 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 blah. Place of heritage, place of arrogance. Blah blah blah. Place of arrogance. Aslan. Place of vicinity of tools. Blah blah blah. Y'all see that, right? That's what I'm putting up here. Notice I haven't mentioned people. I haven't mentioned nothing at all. Everything is land, right? He goes, the ancestors pointed me to the Great Lakes and the pearls, milk, shells, and other signs of purity associated with the lakes and symbolized by whiteness It's the land of milk and honey. Go reference. Okay, boom, right there. So we already see that he's already he already got crackganda going on, right? There's already crackganda going on because he's referencing Bible terms, place of milk and honey, land of milk and honey. So we already know it's crackganda going on, right? He's already infected. We can already clearly see he's infected because the first thing that comes out of his mouth is some biblical bullshit, right? And we're talking about Aztecs. Right. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We ain't said nothing about Kemet. We ain't said nothing about people. We ain't said none of that type of stuff. I'm gonna keep going. So then he said, and then again, he says the ancestors pointing him to that. Ain't got no problem with the ancestors telling you stuff, but it needs to have a clear line of logic and reason behind it for you to feed it to the people, not just making claims. You see what I'm saying? So just the ancestors told you, they ain't tell nobody else, and that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So he go, Aslan is not what they called it though. Right? So this is what he's saying. He said, there were no white people at this time. Now, again, this is the delusions of some of our people, right? I have not mentioned anything about white people. I haven't mentioned anything about black people. I haven't made anything mention about white or anything outside of Aslan means white, right? White land or the whiteness or whatever the white they're referring to. That's what it's talking about, dealing with Aslan. But when he see white, he automatically associates it with people, or I don't know how he's doing it, but you're going to see how the logic starts pouring out of it, right? So then I said, who said anything about white people? I said land. I said you're traumatized anytime you see the word white or black. Many go into defensive mode when that's not the case. I said, are you proposing a different etymology of the word Aslan? This is interesting. Again, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not calling him out his name. I'm not doing nothing there. I'm just trying to have a clear dialogue, as y'all can see. He goes, you said white land, without putting any context into what white land means, right? I mean, shit, I don't even think it need context if we say white land. I mean, it means the land's white. There's nothing else to really extract from it, right? So it said means. So when I say Illinois, right now, keep in mind his original post, Illinois, Cahokia, Aslan. There's nothing in here about Kemet or nothing, right? He says is an ancient necropolis before Egypt ever existed. Again, he just brought up Egypt. He's the one talking about Illinois. I'm not saying this is him. Negroes like you, now here comes disrespect, right? Negroes like you only see the surface interpretation of white land. So that explains why I explain it says that surface interpretation of white land. So that's why I explain what it means, because otherwise could you hear? Did I
can hear you now. Yeah, you went out for a second. I couldn't hear anything. You back now. I can hear you now. I don't know if you can hear me. Hello? Can you hear me?
What was the last thing you heard?
When you was on Mandela Elliot's response, talking about he's mentioned Illinois and ancient Kemet. Ancient Egypt. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So again, he's saying you're the one who said white land without putting it in context what white land means. So when I say Illinois is the ancient necropolis before ancient Egypt, now in his original statement, it ain't nothing in here about ancient Egypt, as y'all can see. There's nothing here about ancient Egypt. So there's no reason for me to be talking about Kemet or ancient Egypt, right? So that's off topic. Maybe he's having a conversation with somebody else and he made this post, but I'm answering the post and there's nothing in here about Egypt, right? So So he goes, Negroes like you, that here go to disrespect. Negroes like you only see surface interpretation of white land. So that's why I explained what it meant, because otherwise you have contended white land, wouldn't have contended white land with next to it without the context of the land itself, as opposed to meaning people, like y'all still say Kemet means black land. Right or wrong. Now he's asking the question, yeah, you're wrong, because you didn't hear me just say that shit. You said it. And now you trying to put it on me like as if I'm saying it when I never made mention of that, right? So, and when he say y'all, I don't know who he's talking about, because he's clearly not talking about Naga, because Naga don't say these things. So I don't know where he's getting that idea from. Then he goes, Kemet means black land for what?
He went on the tangent, and digressed.
Right, because of the land's black. And I'm like, he goes, y'all will take wisdom and poop on it. What did you think white land meant? And what does black land mean in reference to Kemet? Again, I never made mention of Kemet. I never, like this is all, and I keep on trying to explain to him, this is something that you don't have to explain, because I never made mention. I said, we're not talking about Aslan. I said, we're talking about Aslan, not Kemet. That's not sequestered. And a straw man argument. White land could be referencing to living in a colder region in caves, as some of the codex infer. I said, like snow covered, or white sands, or shining land, which is what open plains of sand and dirt look like in the desert sun. Look like white lands. So he goes, so did you know that white land meant, so did you know what white land meant when you said, Aslan means white land, LOL. What does white refer to when you're not speaking of white sands, snow-covered mountains, LOL, but the Great Lake region? See, now he just said Great Lake. I never said nothing about Great Lake regions. He's saying Great Lake regions, not me. Right, so there's no reason for me to defend Great Lake regions. You see what I'm saying? He said, and how would the Judas pose that that with black land to commit? Is this reference to people or soil or minerals of the land? Again, my argument ain't for Kemet. My argument ain't about black lands. It ain't about none of that type of stuff. Still don't understand why he bringing that up. Right? Could I said it? Now I'm trying to answer him. Right? Could be in reference to limestone. Right, limestone is white. It could be in reference to limestone, which is also known to have caves in them. I said, I'm still trying to figure out how you extract people from what I said if you're not fanatic about race. Then he goes, because one of y'all said, because you the one who said, Aslan means white land. When that had no reference. So what does white land mean? So he's saying that me saying Aslan means white land when that has no reference. So what does white land mean? Like I don't understand what he means by that, where Aslan means white land, right? Like that's what it means, unless he can come up with a different etymology or methodology or something. And then he says, which refer to then the birds, the herons, or the land of pearls. They actually come extracted from those white lands. I know you won't answer the question, so just know the white lands is referring to mussels or pearl shells extracted from the Great Lake region. It has nothing to do with white people. Again, never made mention of white people, never said nothing about no shells or pearls or mollusks, or none of that type of stuff. That's all stuff he's saying. Again, he goes, why is Kemet called black lands? I just want to be sure we're on the same page. We're not. Because I'm talking about Aslan, you keep on breaking up.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Brother Lorel, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Brother.
You say what?
Yes, just for clarity.
Yeah.
Because when I say this, I'm definitely not accusing you of anything, but who, in your estimation, are the descendants of the indigenous people of Aslan today?
The descendants of Aslan today, they Mexicans.
All right, so just so I'm clear, when you say the Mexicans are the descendants of Aslan today, are you saying that Mexicans are indigenous to what we now know to be the United States?
Um, no, no. In fact, I hold that Mexico. The whole idea of Mexico is Spanish colonial creation, and there was a lot of people in them regions that had different names, and that Mexico is a small island lagoon. It's a small island in the middle of a lagoon, and that the Spanish superimposed that name Mexico over the entire region when the region was not all one homogenous thing, right? So when they say, "Oh, this area was Mexico," and they draw this boundary that goes all the way up into the United States, that's not true, because those people were not one homogenous group of people who all got along singing kumbaya. It wasn't one empire, and which is another claim that he's going to make, that it's a one continuous empire. My thing is, if it's an empire, then who is the emperor of all of these lands? You can't claim it to be an empire without an emperor.
And look, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that Mexicans are not indigenous to the United States.
Right.
But this is the point that I want to make. We, as so-called Black Americans, we have to be careful when we give credence to the Aslan mythology. The reason I say that is because, according to the mythology, the United States was a part of Aslan. So when we say that the Mexicans are the indigenous people of Aslan, we are saying unintentionally, might I add, we are saying that Mexicans are indigenous to the U.S., and this is mythology that they use as they come to the U.S. legally and illegally and take over Black American communities.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is just the truth. You know what I'm saying?
So, usually I be against what Pam Mulatto's saying, but no, he's speaking facts, because they use, like, even in their Mexican American political agendas here in the United States, they're pushing for Aslan. They're literally pushing for Aslan political parties and things like that. Like, they actually got political parties built around this stuff. The whole La Raza, all of that whole little movement was all part of this Aslan identity. You see what I'm saying? So the influx of Mexican, Hispanic people, and I'm not against Mexicans or Hispanic people, but yeah, y'all gonna have to take that shit to Mexico. You gotta take that shit to Mexico, like that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what else to fucking tell you. You take that shit to Mexico. This was never Mexico. Mexico is a Spanish colonial fucking construction. With that being said, it ain't never been the land called Mexico ever.
Right, that's up until the early 1500s.
That's colonial.
That's what the first Mexican.
Y'all with the colonizer, or y'all against the colonizer? Because if you can't say in 1 minute that you're against the colonizer, and then you're gonna claim his shit. You're claiming his boundaries that he created. You claiming the names that he created for you. We be rejecting all that shit. We rejected all their religion. Y'all accept their religion. Y'all want to be Catholics. We reject their shit. Y'all accept it. Y'all call yourselves Spanish. We not calling ourselves English. Y'all accept it. We're complete rebels. We're complete rebels. We're complete maroon against the system. We're not for it.
Yeah,
you know
Mexicans supposed to identify with whites, right. Through the LULAC organization.
Identify with the oppressor. We don't identify with the oppressor, right? You know what I'm saying? We already know the only benefit we get from the oppressor is what we get from the oppressor. That's it. Whether that's oppression or whatever benefit you get from being in this fucking corporate construct. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in the end of the day, if you're gonna call this land an empire, you need to bring forth a king's list, or who the emperor was that commanded and controlled all this shit. And again, he was kind of weak if he was the emperor, because they got beat up. It didn't take very long. I'm just throwing it out there. But he goes, I say, bro, this still don't answer why you went straight to people and not the description of the land. I said, who knows what white is representing? The only fact is that it's white, whatever they're talking about. This is me being honest. Me not confabulating shit. Is me not creating false narratives. This is me being honest. Like, I don't know what it's reference to. I said, I referenced the land. You went the people. It's hard to see crack gander. He says, I'm not debating, so Wisconsin was all once one Illinois territory. Okay, again, you see him using the colonizing term, the Illinois territory. Says who? Who said it's the Illinois territory? Right? It says, and the northern Great Lakes was called Tahada, right? Techita, meaning the high prairie or cheetah, Hebrew for joy or happiness. Contrary to what they tell you, the ancestors say this region means land of abundance, which symbolizes white, holy, purity, holiness. Okay, again, y'all heard the vernacular. It ain't me. Y'all heard what he just said in Hebrew. Notice he didn't say in the Mexica language. He didn't say in the Aztec language. He didn't say in no indigenous language. He said Hebrew. Again, he is suffering from crack gander. He's suffering from crackatosis, like Brother Sarah Sudan said he would say. He's suffering from crackatosis and crack gander. Right? So now I guess these niggas over here is Hebrews now. They're Indians or Hebrews, according to him. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to click on where he posted up here, and I want y'all to notice. In what is being read right here, there's no mention of Aslan, Aztecs, or any of that bullshit. It ain't no mention of Eritz. There's no mention of Herons. None of that shit. None of that is in this. Right, but this is what he put up. So the teacher is also the Tachita, which in ancient culture connect the water and the earth to heavens and abundance. That correctly comes from the earth source. Tachita would essentially mean land of abundance in a sense. Now, I'm gonna ask you, Brother Sadiq, what is wrong with his inquiry into AI? Let me see if you catch it.
I can't even see what he typed, you know what I'm saying? But if I was to take a guess at it, if I take a guess at it, he led AI like they usually do.
He led AI. He led them. And this what makes it disingenuous. Y'all be leading the AI to give y'all the answers that y'all want, and then y'all think that shit is valid. Right, so I'm gonna read it. It says, so the Techita or Techita, which in ancient cultures connected water and earth to the heavens in abundance. Right, that's him. He wrote all that. That Krachia. So he's telling AI. He's telling AI what it is. Right? This is called being disingenuous. This is disingenuous, and then try to use this shit as a proxy. Right? It says you hit a profound linguistic and spiritual connection, while modern translation often stick to literal descriptions like late camp. Right? This is what the scholars are saying. Late camp. Your interpretation. Now notice it said your interpretation, not the interpretation, which means again he led AI to this, right? He made AI say this shit. He said your interpretation lines with the metaphysical worldview of the Sioux speaking people, like the whole chunk who lived there, right? So again, this is metaphysical. This is his own metaphysical interpretation. Does not mean that this is what this actually is. This is when you read and you actually understand and you comprehend what you read. It says in the cultural context, the land wasn't just a physical space; it was a land bridge. Three worlds: the Mississippian and earlier Great Lake theology. The universe was divided into sky, heaven, earth, and beneath the world water source. A place like Tachia, where the high prairie meets the water, was seen as a liminal space where the realms converge, life source, blah 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 blah. Anyway, nothing in there suggests they're talking about Aslan. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing in there. Then let me go to the next one. right? So it goes on. It goes on. Look, it says the area near Egerton and Lake Koskongong was exactly this. Archaeologists note that this was mostly densely populated region in North America because wild rice, white shells, blah blah blah. So again, none of this got nothing to do with the Mexicans, the Aztecs, or anything of that nature, and y'all can clearly see that on y'all own. And then I go to him. I said again, what this got to do with Aslan? What part of the codex referenced the Great Lakes? Right now, and then he goes, really? Where did the codex even come into the discussion? Huh? I said, we're discussing Aslan. The codex is the only reason we even know about it. Surely you know this before making claims this widely known, right? I mean, think about that. You're making claims about this, right? And you ain't even read the codex. You're saying that Cahokia is Aslan in the Great Lake regions, and you ain't even read the codex where Aslan comes from, and you don't think that's disingenuous? It's disingenuous, brother. So I said. The record of one narrative, the history of the Machika people from their migration to Aslan is about 1527 AD, just after the death of Chuka Timumak. The first portion of the codex is the annual of the Mashika migration from Aslan that asserts the role of Taliki Loka Mashika, putting them in parity with Tanoka Mashika, and the reigning Tanoka Mashika suppressed the identity. And anyway, this is the codex, and I gave him a bunch of different Wikipedia links to the different codexes that come that deal with Aslan. I said, see, if you stay in them back chat groups, you will have a much more intense understanding because we study. This is old to us, right? And I kept posting up codexes. These are all different codexes. They all say different things, so you got to go through all of them in order to surmise your hypothesis. It's a bunch of coding again. And then Brother Thought came in saying, no, it's because the sands of a particular area, being that the whole land itself wasn't known as Kemet, you're playing word association based off the lack of understanding of what you're talking about. So he's talking to him about the whole Kemet thing, right? We ain't even talking about the same thing. And then he says, like you said, as soon as you use the word white, he got in his bag instead of understanding why it may have been that PTSD is real. He said, dude, man, playing word association with people when it was nothing to do with people. Then he goes start on the rail. What does white land mean and what does black land mean in terms of commit? Let's get to it. Then since y'all want to play, want to tag people for recruitment. Whoa. He said, I never said anything about the codex. I literally spoke of Cahokia and Aslan being interconnected to the same empire, although Aslan is not the true meaning of the region. So since you want to bring up codexes, then tell me what the actual region was called in Louisiana before being called Louisiana, Illinois. What the fuck you think you're playing with? I never brought up Louisiana, never brought up Illinois. He brought up Illinois. I never called that shit an empire. He called this shit an empire. So it's on him to figure out who the emperor was, and it's up to him to prove that Cahokia and Aslan is the same thing. It's not on me. You the one made the claims. This is how logic goes, brother. And then I said, I added more people not to lean on my own understanding of this to get the bigger picture. If I'm in error, I accept the correction. There is no ego involved. Truth is our only ally. With that being said, this topic has nothing to do with commit. That's non sequitur at best, or straw manning to come to a false equivocation, because Kemet means black land in reference to people. According to you, then it must be true for Aslan, white land, or land of white shit. I said this is why having a formal debate is so important. One run from accountability that comes with debating. Thought goes, I answered your question already as far as commit, as far as white lands, we can't be sure as the information itself isn't clear. So now that's thought reconfirming what I just said. It's like we don't know what the hell is referencing. It could be referencing anything. It could be referencing the birds, the land, the snow, anything. It could be a land of flowers. Who knows, right? We don't know because the codex ain't really clear about that. So I said again, I said if it wasn't for the codex, you wouldn't be uttering. Said it don't. So where are you getting this notion? This isn't me trying to assert myself above you. I just want a clean dialogue that follows logic. There he goes. Tell me what white land means in reference to what I'm talking about, because I'm more than aware of what the codexes are, but I want you to tell me what that has to do with my concept of ancient mound cities and how that correlates to the region I'm speaking of. Again, he gonna ask me about the codexes. You need to be coming from the codexes your damn self. And now all of a sudden, you're aware of the codexes, right? When I spoke of the codexes earlier, it was a problem. Now all of a sudden, you're aware of the codexes. Is that because you had time to sit here and Google? You had the time to sit here and put it into AI? And now all of a sudden you're aware of the codexes, right? If you was, then you wouldn't have made the claim in the first place, because you would have knew the codexes don't mention none of that shit. So again, that was you half cop coming off, and this is the reason why truth are only ally, and we gotta cut you. He says I spoke of Aslan because people don't know the indigenous term for the region, just like you don't know. But since you want to open up the codexes, go ahead and tell me what it says about Tejada and the civilization linked to it. Again, I never brought up Tejada. This is your claim. This is your claim, not mine. I don't have to defend this. He says you brought up the codex, so now tell me what white land and black land means in reference to Kemet versus the white land of Aslan based on what the codex speak of. Again, Kemet, not my argument. Don't have to answer that. That's non sequitur. That ain't got nothing to do with the conversation. I said honestly, can't tell you how those are connected. That's what you say. You have to demonstrate that. I said that's asinine. Those two things have nothing to do with each other. Aslan, Kemet, and black civilization. Then he says, I didn't say they were connected. I'm only asking what black lands mean in contrast to white land. I'm just giving you the mic and letting you tell me what you know about the allegories. Either answer it or stay in your lane, because y'all got me effed up. I say it don't mean anything. It's nothing to contrast outside of one is black and the other is white, and one is white and the other is black, which you are clearly suffering from crackganda to even compare the two. I said your statement said Cahokia is Aslan. You have to demonstrate that, not try to fish for things only you see. I'm telling you they're not related, thus shouldn't be compared, and is a distraction from the initial claim, which is Cahokia is Aslan. Stay on topic, right? He said, what does it mean to be white and black in those contexts? And then I showed him his post, right? Then he says, I'm not comparing, just inquiring. How you gonna say you're not comparing, just inquiring, when your inquiry says, what does it mean to be black and white in this context, though. That's what you said. That's what you're saying, right? Then you right here you says in contrast to white lands. I'm asking what black lands actually mean in contrast to white lands. Then when I scroll down here, you says I'm not comparing. You're lying. That's now you're being disingenuous. You can't even be consistent in what you're saying. He said you're wasting my time. I need to tell you what I need you to tell me what black and white mean in this context. Stop pretending you know to know what you're talking about because I'm not the one. I said, see, that ain't no Illinoisan commit in those. I said, this is those or straw man red herrings to deviate from the fact that you can't demonstrate Cahokia is Aslan. And of course, he put a laughing emoji. He said, are you kidding me? Illinois and Wisconsin was all one territory. But either way, I never said it was the same thing. That's your misunderstanding. I just need you to tell me what white land means in Aslan. Otherwise, if you don't know, you should probably humble yourself and just ask questions, right? Again, he says Illinois and Wisconsin was one territory. But either way, I never said it was the same thing. Yes, you are. That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying Cahokia is Aslan, right? And you're claiming all of it is part of the same empire. That's all one territory, one empire. And then right here in this question, you're saying the total opposite. The total opposite. You're confused. I said they mean color, white and black, as far as what they're referencing. That's a matter of subjectivity and historical narrative. This me being honest. I said if it's talking herons, then that's birds habitats from. I said that bird habitats from Canada to South America. That could be anywhere at any time, right? So if Aslan is referencing the white hares, the egret birds, that means that they could be talking about any land from Canada all the way down to South America because those birds inhabit all of those lands. So we have no idea that could have been just 20 miles from their location, 50 miles from their location, 100 miles from their location. We don't know because they didn't put no. We travel for 30 moons or 30 sunrises. They ain't tell us all that shit. So we can't gauge on how far or where they come from, right? For you to sit here and keep claiming that it's Illinois, Wisconsin, the Great Lakes, Cahokia. That's what you say, right? And then I said if it's talking land, then there's plenty of places with white landscapes for mountains, deserts, to fields of white flowers, to snow-covered lands further north. He says, what do it mean? You tell me. I said, how can I, if the codex isn't clear, why would I assume it's Cahokia? You still haven't demonstrated it. He go, bro, get off my page with that half-ass intellectualism. He's saying that this is half-ass intellectualism that I'm doing. When I already told you Illinois and Wisconsin were one. What does that mean? What does that mean? You using Illinois and Wisconsin? You using those boundaries and borders? And saying that they were one, the boundaries and borders are imaginative. It's not even real. So, like, how do you know where one end and one begins? Like, I mean, you saying it was one, you're calling one Illinois and one Wisconsin. So, what was the name of it? Like, you just saying stuff. He said, and all this was connected between Cahokia and the Great Lakes. No shit, it's on the same landmass. It's on the same landmass. That's right. It says you don't need to call it anything to know it's more mound systems and tombs than there is in Egypt. Again, his initial post said nothing about Egypt. Why would I be sitting here talking about mound systems in Egypt and tombs in Egypt? That's his argument. I said he goes, bring up the codexes was a pretentious way to act like you not out of your depth. When one had nothing to do with the other, just like Kemet had nothing to do with Cahokia / Aslan, but you brought up the codexes, so I'm gonna bring up Kemet. What? You brought up Kemet before I even brought up the codexes. You already inserted. You inserted Kemet. You inserted Hebrew. You inserted land of milk and honey. You inserted all that shit. I didn't insert none of it. He said, either tell me what it means or stop pretending, because I smell fraud from a mile away. You don't even know your own shit, but trying to call me out. I said the post don't mention Egypt. Why would I be arguing that? He said, you are straw manning the argument. Does Kemet have more tones than although all this stuff he said, it ain't got nothing to do with my argument. You see what I'm saying? And he's saying all this stuff to like beat around the bush. So I tagged the brothers in. He said, I love it. You call your half-ass researcher. See, listen to all the disrespect. Like we not calling you out of your name. We're not saying none of this type of shit to you. This is your reaction to peer review. This is your reaction to peer review, brother. I want you to understand how immature you. How can you be this against peer review, and you want people to take you serious, right? He says, I was actually going easy on you, but since you want to call for backup, then tell me what black lands mean in reference to Kemet. Again, I never said nothing about black land, never made no mention about Kemet. That's his argument. Nigga, you got to do something better, right? He said, and don't ever tag people on my page unless you actually have knowledge to back it up. I've been where y'all are. Not the other way around. So I'm still waiting on you to tell me what Kemet means without beating around the bush about it. We ain't got all day. Again, ain't my argument. Won't be responding to that. Here go Brother Ruben. He posts up and he's dropping the shit about the mounds over in Illinois. You know what I'm saying? From not just Cahokia, but you see it's 700 to 800 mounds scattered all over the state in Louisiana, right? So he bringing out that information, right? So then he gonna tell Ruben what the fuck they got to do with Kemet/Africa, since that was the Judas position. Okay, no, it's not. I could go back up to the top and show y'all where Kemet and Africa ain't nowhere in the damn post. So it's not the original position. It's not. It's not. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to go back to the top of the post so y'all can see Kemet and Africa is not in that book. It's a goalpost move. It's not in there. So then he says, tell me what Illinois and Louisiana was called before colonization, since you using state names and not indigenous geography like y'all know something. Keep in mind, he was just saying Wisconsin, Illinois. Keep in mind, that's since y'all want to use tell me what Illinois and Louisiana was called before colonization, since y'all want to y'all using state names. Nigga, you literally use Illinois and Wisconsin. And now you saying because he's saying Louisiana that he needs to tell you what the indigenous name is? Because he's using state names, so did you. So did you from the beginning. Ruben goes, this isn't in reference to Kemet in Africa. It was in reference to Cahokia in Illinois having more mounds than anywhere else in the country. That's a little further down the Mississippi River. So what Ruben's saying is actually on point to what he's talking about. So Ruben is actually still in the ballpark. Yeah, nigga, you sitting here talking about Illinois got more mounds and tombs. He's saying he's willing to raise the bet and call bullshit, and that's what he did. And so then he goes, but you named the state Illinois. See, Ruben right on point. He came right back with, yeah, but you just used Illinois. Like, I mean, he said exactly. So if you know, you know. Now tell me about Cahokia and the amount of tombs and mounds documented within every mile or yard in the Judas juxtaposition to the locality of the Valley of King regions in Africa. Let's see if we know our empires and histories in context of contemporary data. Again, This is your argument. This your argument. He never made this claim. This is your claim. You're making the claim that is more. You're making that claim. You the one that need to provide this shit. This is your demonstration. You supposed to be demonstrating that. Not that you try to keep some shit tucked like everywhere. In comparison to Illinois alone, that's why I'm asking y'all what the fuck does Kemet mean, since y'all on my page trying to scrutinize. Right, because historically it was a region that constitutes both Illinois and Wisconsin. Again, he uses state names, right? He's using state names again. It was called Illinois Territory, which encompassed Illinois, Wisconsin, parts of Michigan, Minnesota, Ontario. Look, now he's going on to Canadian provinces. He's using the colonial terms for the Canadian provinces now. Like he's international with his dishonesty. He's being international with the dishonesty, right? And he gonna use more. He used more state names. He threw Michigan and Minnesota into it, right? He says, but I'm still talking about Illinois alone. In contrast to the entire Africa, he's trying to compare Illinois to the entire Africa. Keep that in mind. So unless you can show me over 50,000 pyramids in the Nile Valley, I think y'all want to recess your contention. Ain't no 50,000 motherfucking pyramids in the Americas at all, nigga. I mean, it might be a lot of dirt mounds. A lot of dirt mounds, nigga, but those are not pyramids, my nigga, but whatever. So then Ruben goes, Kemet means black land. And he said there are over 50,000 pyramids in no one region on earth. He said, I didn't say pyramids, I said tombs. Let me go back up here. He said, this is him talking. Can you show me over 50,000 pyramids? This is what he's saying. Let me go back. I didn't say pyramids, I said tombs. Let me go back. Can you show me over 50,000 pyramids? This is Mandela talking. Can you show me over 50,000 pyramids? Look, I didn't say pyramids, I said tombs. Disingenuous. You can't even keep up with the bullshit. And what does black land refer to in reference to Kemet? Don't give me the surface explanation. Tell me what it means. Even though Ruben just said right here, Kemet means black land. And he keep on asking for the same shit, even though the answer's been given multiple times, right? I said, so I go, so you think I'm trying to compete with you? No, bro, this is a conversation. I told you we debate formally that's weighed by judgment and logic, not fanaticism and sensationalism. You're welcome to come and do a demonstration, because I still don't know where you got Aslantis Cahokia, which is your claim. He goes, Ruben, thanks for bringing up Louisiana, when historically Louisiana and Illinois was literally one interconnected empire along the river system. So now that you have a better perspective of the continuity of the whole empire region, do you still think this statement is a reach? Y'all have y'all actually been in the Midwest, Illinois, Wisconsin area to see the mounds very few yards everywhere you go? Okay, so check this out, Brother Mandela. I live in St. Louis. Cahokia Mounds, Monk Mound is in my backyard. I live in a place called Mound City. St. Louis was called Mound Cities. It was mounds all over this motherfucker. You're telling me, oh, we don't know. Maybe we ain't never been to these regions. I live in the region. I'm a Mississippi Valley nigga. There's mounds all over this motherfucker. Not pyramids, dirt mounds. Not pyramids, nigga, dirt mounds. Not mason bricks, dirt mounds. That's what that is. And I ain't got no problem with them being dirt mounds. I mean, I understand the science. I get it. But again, you said, I'm going to read it again. He says, do you still think this is a reach? Have y'all actually been in the Midwest? Illinois? You talking about 10 minutes across the bridge? Have I ever been 10 minutes across the bridge? Have I ever been to Collinsville, where Cahokia is at? Is that what you're asking? Yeah. In fact, our tribe went there and planted our flag there. That's our capital. In fact, that's our capital.
And right? Now, well, I'll give him this, right? I'll give him this. Louisiana and Illinois was once part of the same territory, but that territory was called the Louisiana Purchase Territory.
Yeah, and even with that being said, though, bro, like that, I think it's a stretch, because to say it's all one, right? It's all one territory. They're saying that the Chickasaw, Choctaws, Cherokee, the Seminoles, all of these people that were all up and down, the Sioux, the Peoria, the Tamarillo, the Kaskaskias, I could keep naming them, because these are all Alani Confederation Native Americans, right? I could keep talking about them, right? So those are not all one continuous fucking culture. Those are not all one continuous people. In fact, those people have bloody wars with each other. For you to sit here and call them like they just one big homogenous groups. Nigga, the Iroquois displaced so many Native Americans east of the Mississippi, it ain't no telling who is who and who is what, when, and where. See, but this is what happens when you try to sensationalize things, right? This is what happens when you assume that you know what other people know. Again, like I said, I live in the Midwest. I live in
I thought that was me tripping. He dropped off.
Yeah. My internet be tripping a lot. I'm worried about the airport and shit. But yeah, again, like Buddy got a lot to deal with. So my thing is, the whole conversation was never about Kimmy. Matter of fact, let me go back to it real quick. It was never about Kimmy. It was never about Kimmy. He bought up that stuff. He goes, I said again, just trigger words. Empires are ran by emperors. Who was the emperor of all the empire you claim was in administration? He says you take all day to respond, bro. Stop nitpicking words as if you know what you're talking about. You tell me what black land means. Black land means in Kemet, and I'll tell you the whole the chiefs and the emperors were. If you come at me respectfully, I got you. But you want to go tit for tat for some semantics because you don't know anything or have anything to teach is actually a waste of time. Either come to me correct or tag someone with more or more of your friends who does have knowledge, because all three of y'all weak. Now again, y'all see the disrespect, y'all see the ad homs. That's him. That's him talking. That's not Naga throwing insults at him, right? That's him. And then when we challenge these people to debates, the cowards won't show, and they give excuses. They give excuses why they can't be a man, stand on 10 toes, and give an actual demonstration with empirical evidence to back it. Why can't you do it? Why be a coward? Why be a coward? This all we saying. Like we ain't gotta do 100 different messages on a thread. We can actually we got a whole platform that we could debate on. There's many platforms we could debate on. You got the Titans, you got Paradigm Shift, you got JJ7K, nigga. I mean, there's plenty of you got us, you got the Naga Nexus, World Nexus. We got plenty of fucking platforms to debate this shit on. We could take it to Sonetta, huh? We could take it to Brother Sanchez. Where you want to go with it? We could take it where on your newsstand you want to sit here and disrespect us instead of being a man standing on your all 10 and just debate us. Just debate us. Get your squad. We got our squad. Let's meet in the intellectual battlefield. How about let's do that instead of throwing back the ad homs back and forth? Because to call all three of us weak when you don't know us, I mean, bruh, I'm from St. Louis. We make niggas stand on shit like that. We make you stand on that. This is the show me state. I mean, you're going to have to show me, bro. So it says, I'm addressing him because he like taking all day. Because I'm busy, sir. I'm busy. I was doing all shit all yesterday, nigga. I'm busy. I have time to sit here and talk to you all fucking day on the internet. Right? I said the topic was never Kemet or black, Mr. Strawman General. I said, again, you're being disrespectful. When I respectfully said, if you want to formally debate about it, we can. But now you're slinging mud and claiming we lack knowledge just because we differ from your opinion. He says, I'm going to sit here answering your questions, then just answer one for me. Tell me how Kemet gets his name, and I'll tell you everything about what I'm talking about. I just want one piece of knowledge from you, just one. How does Kemet get his name, and what does black refer to? And that's what I'm saying. All three of y'all come here wasting time with no knowledge, just word nitpicking. I wish one of y'all would say Illinois and America isn't more ancient than Kemet. So this your problem, right?
You can't get up here.
Right here, of us say this shit. We're not saying that. We never made that claim. So you're fighting a battle where there's no enemy. You like Trey on Boys in the Hood. When he went home to his old lady, he got to swinging at the air, punching invisible people. That's you right now. Because none of us said none of this stuff. That's why you sitting here trying to bait it, right? Because you wish one of us would just say Illinois and America isn't more ancient than Quebec. That's what you want us to say. Thank you. The truth finally came out, Mr. Fanatic. In your own words. This proves that you're a fanatic. We never said nothing about it. You brought up Kemet. You brought up Africa. We're talking about Aslan, the mythical land of the fucking Aztecs, which has nothing to do with Kemet or black. If you want a real dissertation, you want a real debate, come holler at Naga. Meta debate forum, bro. Come holler at us, cuz. Naga World Nexus, nigga. Naga World Order. Come holler at us. We still sharp and steel. We're gonna rub up against something. Right? We not your well wishers on your page. We're not. We're not. We're intellectual bullies. I'm gonna be honest with you. We intellectual bullies, and we smell a falsehood, and nigga is blood in the water to us. So at this point, you're gonna have to stand up on this. So then he goes, Ruben says, I don't know how Mandela moved from Aslan from the Southwest to the Midwest. I don't either, cuz like again, I told you I'm gonna go back up here to the top so y'all can see what's being said. Hold on. So this is the original post, y'all. The original post. Illinois, being this was Cahokia / Aslan, there's more ancient tombs per square mile than anywhere else in the country / earth. Nothing in there about Kemet. Nothing in there about Africa. Nothing in there about any of the bullshit that he talking. It's just his postulations and us correcting. And again, you wanna debate it? We can have a formal debate. We ain't got no problem with having formal debates. In fact, we encourage it. We encourage the formal debate, brother. You know what I'm saying? But don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. You know? We ain't got to do that. Yeah, man. So I don't know what to say, man. Like I said, I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. I hate that it took so long. You know what I'm saying? But I had to throw that out there, you know what I'm saying? Because mad niggas be out here just saying stuff. And we don't really be checking them like that, but I'm gonna start going on a whole warpath checking them, because there's a lot of pseudos out here that think they teaching our people, and they shouldn't be teaching. You shouldn't be teaching at all. You should be listening. And I'm not saying that about him, because I haven't looked at a lot of his information. I just see what comes across the news feed from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he got a problem when people got a different opinion of what he's saying. It's like, if you don't want people commenting or giving their opinions, then why don't you just make the post private or turn off the comments? That way people won't disrupt you in what you're saying. But yeah, man. Man, Sadiq, man, what's been going on, man? What's been new? Hello?
He must be away from that phone. He must be away from that phone.
So I actually been doing some other things. Let me hip you out to what I've been doing.
Yeah, because I kind of been out the loop for about a week and a half, man. Been tied up like a mug.
Yeah, man. So I've been playing around. Okay, so y'all know AI, my friend. I love AI. Like me and him do our thing, right? Or me and her, actually. We do our thing. So I'm always trying to come up with like new technologies and new ways to think of things and new ways around different solutions and stuff like that. And so I started thinking about certain things, because I'm not going. we always thinking about energy, the creation of energy, and wanting energy to become a cultural phenomenon among our people, right? To the point where when you think of black people, you think of energy, you think of electricity. You know what I'm saying? Like you, oh yeah, those are electric people. Everywhere they go, they generate electricity. I want that to be like synonymous with us, just like niggas play basketball, niggas is athletes. I want them to be like niggas is great electrical engineers too. I want that to also be attached to our accolades. So yeah, the only way to do that is by diving headfirst into some of these things. So I'm basically putting together a patent. I'm not done with compiling all my ideas, but I'm putting together this patent, and it's basically a different way to go through the electrolysis process, right? So if usually when we do an electrolysis process, we have a reservoir filled with some type of salt water, of some sort, and we have an anode and a cathode plate in the water, and one has a negative charge, one has a positive charge, and when you send a current through it, it separates the oxygen and the hydrogen, and you're able to extract the gases out of it. Which is great if you want like natural gas, some clean gas, clean fire is good for that process. Then you got but see the problem with that is that when you do that process, it creates this sludge. Let me see if I can find a video for you. Let me see if I can't find electrolysis.
Method. If you use a proton exchange membrane, PEM for short, it's possible to extract hydrogen from pure water, as the membrane provides the necessary particle transport between anodes and cathodes.
Okay, so that was like a brief explanation of cathodes, anodes, and like it get real simple. Now, I want y'all to realize that they just did that shit with a glass of water, salt, 2 pencils, and a 9-volt battery. And they was able to create hydrogen gas from that. Hydrogen and oxygen gas. Like this right here is the eliminates a lot of things, bro. I mean, imagine disconnecting your gas line and connecting it to a tank in the backyard. They ain't got nothing but salt water in it and electricity flowing through it, and you pump the hydrogen gas right into the house and use that instead of the bullshit they got coming out the wall, because that shit toxic. This shit ain't toxic.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago they had this guy had put a little device on this car, you know what I'm saying, that was running this car off the water. It was separating the hydrogen and the oxygen.
Yeah.
He had a fucking Cadillac CTSV, a supercharged LS engine running on that thing.
See if I could get us another something that can explain. Because I like watching demonstrations. Here's another one with the pencil. They're using a different solution.
Is it possible to burn water? If the answer is yes, then how? To answer that, there is a process called hydrolysis. This process takes away the hydrogen of water with the help of the electricity cabled to the connectors and pouring either salt or acid in the water to influence the hydrolysis reaction. When powered up, it releases bubbles containing gases such as hydrogen and oxygen from the water. So yes, you can technically burn water. Is it possible to...
This is going to blow your mind. We can actually split water into two gases with just electricity. So, what's the big deal about electrolysis? Picture this. You have water, H2O, made up of hydrogen and oxygen. By applying an electric current, we can break those bonds and separate the water into hydrogen and oxygen gas.
Now you see all that sludge is creating in the bottom, all that heavy metals and impurities and shit. That's the byproduct coming out of that, right? And my patent it eliminates that. The way I did it is by turning the cathode into the container. The container is the cathode, right? And we add microsonic technology to the cathode, and we add sine wave technology to the anode. The sine wave gives the water structure. It structures the water, right? And the microsonic technology creates tiny vibrations, which causes those bubbles to appear, right? But it's doing it micro-aggressively, so it's way more bubbles than normal. And then when you add that with an electric field and spin, magnetic spin and stuff like that, we create this environment where the heavy metals are drawn to the outside of the spin near the walls of the container. But because the container, the walls is a cathode, and that cathode has microsonic technology, is breaking those the heavy stuff down into bubbles and causing it to be able to go back through the process again. So I'm gonna read some of this so y'all can understand what he's saying. It says the system and a method of high efficiency electrolysis and energy conversion utilizes a radio electrode configuration. The apparatus employs a central located microsonic vibrating cathode and a conductive vessel anode modulated by a sine wave signal. The interaction of radical current and axial magnetic field induces vortex spin on Lorentz force within the electrode with the electrolyte. This creates a centrifugal liquid wall that focuses gas evolution into a central vortex for a resonating ignition, transforming the electrolytic cell into a self-contained closed-loop post-detonation engine. The resonant electromechanical system for a high-density energy generation comprised of a radical reaction vessel, the conductive outer housing acting as the primary anode configured to receive the modulating sine wave electrical input to facilitate periodic ion migration to prevent concentration polarization. The centrally suspended cathode couples to an ultrasonic transducer configured to produce the microsonic vibrations to induce the acoustic cavitation and facilitate instantaneous bubble scrubbing at the electrode surface. So basically, it's saying that when you turn it on, the microsonic technology is creating instantaneous bubbles that's scrubbing the surface, so that black sludge and all of that stuff, the black sludge and the bubbles that usually like stick to those things, they don't stick anymore, which makes it easier to harness the gas. It says the magnetic field or the permanent electromagnetic orientated provide axial magnetic flux perpendicular to the radial current flow, thereby inducing the magno-hydrodynamic vortex within the electrolyte via the Lorentz force. A synchronization circuit that locks the sine wave anode frequency and the microsonic cathode frequency and the vortex rotational speed into a triharmonic resonance, maximizing gas evolution through constructive interference of mechanical and electrical waves. It says where the centrifugal forces of the spinning electrolyte fling liquid towards the anode wall, compressing lighter hydrogen and oxygen gases into high pressure center mass gas pockets surrounding the cathode. So basically, we're saying when it spins, it's going to create this pressure, this compression of this gas. You understand why it's spinning in there, like, and that makes it easier to harness. It says a time controller that delivers a high voltage spark or laser pulse to the central gas pockets at the peak of the sine waves compression cycle, where by the liquid wall converting thermal expansion energy back into mechanical rotation or hydraulic pressure. The cooling interface that condenses combustion byproduct steam back into liquid water within the vessel maintains a constant electrolyte volume. And here we just go into the technical specifications with the anode geometry, cylindrical or spherical vessel. The cathode material is a piezoelectric couple, so that's probably gonna be like a crystal quartz, some type of crystal quartz, to get that piezoelectric effect out of there. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the piezoelectric effect and how
shout out to Minister.
Oh yeah, Minister Inky, right?
Yeah,
the piezoelectric. When you strike that crystal quartz, it actually gives off a tiny charge, a shock, and we can actually use that in this process. The modulation or the sign where AC over DC prevents the electrode fouling and allows tuning of ionic resonance. So we're able to tune this machine down to the ionic resonance of the fucking the ionic bonds themselves. You feel what I'm saying? It says the spin method of the magnetic Lorentz force. It separates gas from liquid by density and rotation. And then it says the power output, the MDH induction or turbine harvests the energy of the explosion to recharge the system. And again, it said this is a tri. This is a tri. What do we call this? A tri. It's the tri. What is it? The tri? I can't remember the name of it, man. It's right off the tip of my tongue. But it's the this tri method. 3 method. I was gonna turn it to the Naga method, but it's the acoustic, electric, and magnetic. We're using all 3 of them in this system. Microsonic vibrations, sine wave pulses, and rotational spin for gas compression and thermal stability. So a lot of those systems, they be having a problem with the thermal part, because a lot of the energy that we create is waste energy, and that waste energy is emanated as heat. And it's like if you can harness that heat, then you can put it back into the system. So it says introduce a microsonic vibrations, and sine wave modulation into an electrically cell moves the process from a standard chemistry into the realm of sonoelectrolysis and pulse electrolysis. Um, it says when you combine these two mechanical electrical frequencies, you are essentially tuning the fluid and the ion to maximize efficiency. Here is the breakdown of the physics and the chemical effects. Dealing with the cathode microsonic cavitation. When the cathode vibrates at microsonic frequency, it creates a phenomenon called acoustic cavitation. Surface scrubbing. In standard electrolysis, hydrogen bubbles cling to the cathode, creating an insulating layer of gas masking. This increased electrical resistance. Microsonic vibration scrubs these bubbles off the surface the instant they form. Microjets. The cavitation bubbles collapse near the cathode. They shoot high pressure microjets of electrolytes toward the electrode. This creates an intense localized mixing, ensuring the fresh ions were always available for reaction. Lower over potential because the surface is kept clean and the ion concentration is kept high through mixing. You can drive the same amount of current using significantly less voltage. You hear that? You could drive more current with less voltage. Applying the sine wave to the anode instead of the flat DC current changes how double layers or the thin layers between the electrodes and the liquid behaves. Ion tuning. The sine waves create a fluctuating electromagnetic field. This frequency of the sine waves matches the natural resonance or mobility of specific ions. It can speed up their migration towards the electrode, eliminating central polarization during the DC electrolysis. The area around the anode becomes depleted of anions. The valley of the sine waves allow for a brief moment of electrolyte to redistribute, preventing the bottleneck that usually slows down the reaction time. The side reaction control by adjusting the frequency and the amplitude of the sine wave, you can sometimes favor one chemical reaction over the other, effectively selecting which elements you produce. And so, nigga, we're talking about alchemy, baby. You talking alchemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I came up with the idea. I see stuff, man. I see stuff. I looked at this video and I forgot what video it was about, but the bubble. When I seen the bubbles, it reminded me of the microsonic technology. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," because like you need those bubbles in the creation of hydrogen gas. I was like, well, if I could create more bubbles, then I could harness more gas. And then that's what made me think, like, okay, well, let's turn either the anode or the cathode into microsonic technology, and then we can have an effect. And then I went down a rabbit hole after that. Like, and next thing you know, I was an hour into this shit. And then they go and give you the differences in here. These are the features, the effects of the DC analysis, and the effect of the microsonic plus the sine wave technology. And here it is. It says, again, remember the DC electrolysis, you get large insulating bubbles. With the microsonic, you get micro bubbles that quickly disperse. With this one, with the original one, you get waste energy as heat. The cavitation creates hot spots that aid the reaction. So we're using the heat in our shit. We're using the heat. We're not just allowing the heat to do to just be wasted. We're using it. It says the ion flow, constant but slow diffusion limit, forced convection and resonant migration. So we forcing the flow where the original is slow, right? It says energy. This creates high resistance, high voltage needed. So you need high resistance and high voltage needed to create to make this shit happen on this side. But on our side, it takes lower resistance, and you can tune the energy input. That's the difference between what Naga created versus what the standard model is showing you. This is what we created, right? This is the post echo result. The combination often results for a higher purity and faster production. For example, in metal plating, this setup produces a much smoother, denser, and more uniform coating because the vibrations prevent dendrites, which are microscopic spikes, from growing on the surface. So again, this is in the field of electrochemical engineering and energy generation. And the primary component, microsonic oscillating cathodes and sine wave modulated anodes. This is what make our shit different. Is because of these things. This is the reason why, like, I came up with this. And I'm like, damn, maybe we ought to go ahead and try to patent this, right? It says the apparatus of the methods increasing the efficiency of the electrolytic cell by applying simultaneous mechanical and electrical frequency. The system utilizes microsonic vibration cathodes to eliminate gas masking, bubble accumulation through acoustic cavitation paired with sine wave modulation anode to synchronize ion migration. This dual frequency approaches reduces the overall potential required for the electrolysis and increase the rate of gas or metal disposition. Traditional DC electrolysis suffers from concentration polarization and gas mass, and the bubbles form at the electrodes act as insulators, increasing electrical resistance, wasting energy as heat. While ultrasonic baths have been used generally, they have not typically integrated into the electrode itself, nor are they harmonized with the electrical waveform of the anode. So this is what make our shit different. It said the invention provide a tuned electrochemical environment. By vibrating the cathode at microsonic frequencies, microbubbles are detached instantly. Simultaneously, the anode receives a sine wave signal when the frequencies are harmonized at a specific ratio. The system achieves a resonant state, drastically lowering the energy threshold required for chemical reaction. So, Sadiq, this is, I mean, like this is your field, bro. Like, this is like part of your field, man. And I'm just saying, like, I think this technology could revolutionize how we create gases and how we get rid of gases. You see what I'm saying? And it's all a self-contained system, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I even went into possibilities of actually creating an engine with the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's deep, man. I can't wait to finish it so I can put it out there for everybody else to read. What you think about that one, cuz? Trying to see, I think dude just responds. Okay, shit, yeah, man. So that's pretty much that. Hey, Sadiq.